Down at the Valley, the Cherries stand brave. But Arteta's Gunners are here to misbehave. Saturday night, 5:30 is the time. North London, class with a seaside shine.
Put fries in the bag, Cecil.
Happy New Year, Cecil.
Happy New Year, we're back. We're back. Actually, yeah, Happy New Year.
That was actually quite
good to see you, man.
That was nice.
Emery, this is how you do it, my friend. See, I had a little extra for you, lot.
I like it, man.
I've got the red tinted glasses on. We're going to take them off because we're going to get into this preview
Preferred
properly.
that to the poem, to be honest.
Did you? I should have probably started with that.
Yeah.
It's all right, we're here. I've got Dan Potts with me tomorrow.
Big up, bro.
Pinkus. We're top of the league. It's 2026. All right, so calm down. We haven't
You
won
not got a
anything.
t-shirt this year, no?
Nah, bro.
I was disappointed there was no post.
Hear me out. On Christmas Day, that went up 1.1 million views. The one that was back.
Serious.
Bro, obviously it resurfaces every year, but an extra 1 point.
It renewed.
It recycled itself. So I said, I don't need to do another one because I get clowned for it anyway. And I was getting called some profanities online. But hey, that was 3 years ago. We still ain't won the league. But this year, that's what I'm going to say, hopefully. This year, 2026, we'll hopefully be lifting that Premier League trophy. Right, it's the first fixture for Arsenal in 2026. It's Bournemouth away. 5:30pm kickoff, obviously, at the Vitality Stadium. Let's just get everyone's first initial thoughts and feelings ahead of the game. Come on, Dan, talk to me.
So, shouldn't look ahead too much.
Right.
But I look at the next three that we've got, and I look at last year.
But
Look at the
No,
next
hear me out.
19.
Hear me out. Hear me out. We didn't win any of them last year. In the next three.
okay.
Okay. We all know what happened to Bournemouth last year.
Yep.
We couldn't beat Liverpool at home last year with a pretty depleted defence, funny enough. And we didn't beat Forest last year away, right? So the last time I said this, we beat Fulham, which we didn't do last year at Craven Cottage. We beat Newcastle, which we didn't do last year. And we beat West Ham. I need to see us do the same in the next three. Because that is the difference between not winning a title and winning a title. And I think when you look back to the games last year and start to try to make excuses for it, you also have to look at where we are and what we've done now to not give the excuse of dropping points there. Because I think in those three games, we've got three teams that aren't particularly performing too great at the moment, and Arsenal need to punish them. Now, you can go into a Bournemouth game and say that they're a good side with a great coach and that they're going to be a difficult team, and I totally agree with that. But they're not at their best at the moment, Bournemouth. They are struggling.
Correct.
And Arsenal need to put them to the sword, in my opinion, for that. So I'm expecting us to do that.
Okay, you said those three games, if we basically fix what we didn't do last season. There was a time where me and you sat on a show and you said, if we beat Chelsea, then we're going to go on and win this league. We didn't. And I was actually on the same train. I was saying, listen, as long as we get over Chelsea, I think this is definitely a different Arsenal. It still does for me feel different than what we've seen in the past 3 seasons. But that was going to be the determining factor for you, that game. If you get over those 3 next games that you mentioned, do you get that same level of belief again? Or are you just now learning from what you saw at Chelsea, that draw, and just saying, I'm just going to wait until, you know what people say, February, or wait till March. Where are you at? Would it boost your confidence highly?
Well, I'm not always as optimistic as probably as both of you, to be fair, I would say. I would say you're very optimistic, very positive, think we're going to win the lot, and I love that, and I admire that. I wish I was more like that sometimes. However, I don't think I went too early. I think the reason I said that was because if we would have beaten Chelsea and put ourselves 7, 9, 11 points ahead of our rivals, I truly think we would have won the league. And I still stand by that. If we were to go 7, 9, 11 points ahead of the likes of Manchester City and co, I would say that we win the league. So if we do beat Bournemouth, Liverpool and Forest and we find ourselves 9, 11 points ahead, then I will say that. If we're 4 points, I can't get too confident.
That's a fair assessment. Now, I think 7, 9 points, 11 points clear. If you lose out then on the title, that's damning on Arsenal. But 7, I think that could be possible if we win the next 3 games. Matt, my friend, well, Phil Foden, shall I say, in the blonde buzz cut and the blue. Talk to me. First game of 2026 for Arsenal. Where are you at? I feel like you have an air of confidence with this Arsenal team. You're buying into everything they're selling.
Yeah, 100%. This is the best team in the league. I think this is... we've got the best squad. I think we play the best football. I think that we've got the best defence, best midfield, maybe not the best attacking line, but this for me is a team that, I've said it before plenty of times, going into every game I think we can win, especially games like Bournemouth away, which is not an easy game, but it's one of, in a league where every game is pretty difficult, it's one of the games that you probably want to play.
Yeah.
You know, Bournemouth aren't on great form, like you said. And I think we go into it, I'm 100% confident. I've got zero doubt that we go into this game and win it.
Our away form hasn't been great.
Our away form hasn't been great.
It hasn't been
but
great at all. Obviously, apart from Everton.
What I saw at Villa was a big statement.
Right.
That was what I think we needed to let the rest of the league know that we're not just winning games by luck. We can actually have that firepower to destroy and dismantle teams, which is what we did to Aston Villa. And I think that was massive for us. Not only because it was a big win, but it also, I think it was very good in showing us that we can score more than 2 goals in a game, which we've been struggling to do. We've been struggling to get past that hurdle and convert our chances. We need to be more clinical. We were more clinical, and I want to see a bit more of that going forward. I want to score another 2 or 3 this game.
It's so funny he mentions there, we need to be more clinical. And all of us agree that I think probably the attack is where we do let ourselves down at times. But hear this, I just found this out researching today. We've scored every time we played away, bar 1 game. Anyone remember what game that was? We scored in every game away, bar 1
Liverpool.
Game. Oi. Yeah. He likes the quizzes, man. But yeah, so that surprised me a little bit. This is not to say we won every game that we played away, but we are putting the ball in the back of the net. Bar that Liverpool game, it was quite early on in the season. But it is important, I think, when Bournemouth and going forward, that this attack begins to click. I know Matt's just done the Predicted 11 video. Make sure you guys check that out. It's coming out after this preview. And there was a debate about the striker situation. I'm not going to ask Matt because he would have discussed it in the Predicted 11, but for you, Potts, tough one. Who starts up front for you Saturday?
Gabriel Jesus. And look, I was a Gyökeres fan. I wanted him big time. Big time. And when we were getting him ahead of the likes of the others, I really was excited because I thought that we were getting an absolute bagsman. And look, he might still come good. He might. But things just don't look quite right at the moment. Now, I understand the stats back up that we need to play him because we actually score more when he plays. But I look at the individual and I think that we look really attractive and really fluid and really good going forward. And Gabriel Jesus is on the pitch. And I've always believed that in terms of him as a footballer. The only problem you got with Gabby Jesus is he's never fit enough, right? Because if you look back to 22-23 when Saka, Martinelli and Ødegaard all got 15 goals, the striker was Jesus, right? For the majority of it until he obviously got injured. So I still think there's a player there. I'm not saying he's the answer to go win us the league. I don't think there's a problem with starting any of the strikers right now because I don't think any of them are really grabbing the ball by the horns. Yeah. I think that Kai Havertz has still got a chance when he's fit to play and start because of that. But I look right now at who I think brings more to what we're after, and I think Gabriel Jesus gets the nod right now. That doesn't mean Gyökeres doesn't get back into this side. Doesn't mean that he doesn't start, because he probably will start with Gyökeres. But if it was me picking the side, I think Gabby Jesus has pretty much knocked on the door, burst through it, shown what he's still got, and come on and with 2 touches has done what Gyökeres hasn't been able to do for a couple of games, and that's score a goal, and a good goal at that. So I don't really mind who he goes with, but it was me, I'd go with Gabriel Jesus. And to add to that quickly, the second half against Aston Villa kind of made me look so silly with something I said on my channel, which was, I think, although it doesn't look great at the moment in terms of how we're winning games, the 2-1s, the 1-0s, the own goals, the set pieces, I think this is us trying to scrape through when we're not the best. And we will get better. And luckily the second half proved that was right.
Very true. Do you care about that rhetoric of own goals, set pieces? Dan didn't say that in what that explanation there, but I think rival fans look at you like, you lot are you need to rely on own goals or set pieces to win games or get the ball rolling at least. Has that bothered you at any point?
Obviously, I want to see us playing, I want to see us blowing teams away. Yeah. But like I just said a minute ago, there is no easy games in the Premier League. Brighton, we didn't play our best football. I thought we were okay, and we got an own goal that they scored. But Man City lost to Brighton, so I think I've heard more about Arsenal not playing well against Brighton but winning than Man City actually losing to Brighton.
Yeah, that's a great.
You look at, I know Man United are nowhere near our level, but Wolves, we played shocking.
Bad.
We won the game. Man United dropped points. There are no easy games for anyone in this league. And as long as we get the win, which we have been doing, I know that we've had a couple of slip-ups, but the majority of the time when we don't play well, we do still get that win. That is truly all that matters.
All right, man, let's do this then. So Bournemouth haven't actually won in their last 10 games. They've drawn a lot. I think they're joint drawing the most games this season so far. I think it's 8, along with Sunderland. Could this game build to be a potential bananas game for Arsenal in the sense that it feels like big games, Arsenal get up for it, and you see Aston Villa, they are they're at their fluent best in my opinion, especially in the second half. But like lesser games, without being too disrespectful, because Iriola's a great manager. Obviously, they're sitting in 15th at the moment. It feels like the Wolves, like you just said there, the ones that they just don't really feel like, they feel like Arsenal, to me, on the outside, looks like if we turn up, we're going to win this game. And sometimes that doesn't play into our hands very well. We do end up winning those games, but ever so slightly. Do you think Bournemouth could be that, or is it?
Definitely, definitely. The Vitality's been a very tricky stadium for us. We either absolutely batter them or we lose.
Yeah.
You look at like previous results. I recall us beating them 4-0, and then the next year losing 2-0.
Yeah. They did a double on us last season, by the way.
Yeah, they did a double on us.
Which is mad.
Yeah, Iriola's a great gaffer.
Yeah, he is.
Him and Arteta are obviously from the same place. Maybe they've got a similar philosophy, and maybe Iriola knows something about Arteta that other managers don't.
I think he's a great manager, by the way.
Really?
I think he should be. He's going to get the next job he gets. It'll be, I think, for quite a bigger club than Bournemouth, so I would say. But anyway, carry on.
I agree. I think they've got a lot of individuals that can hurt us. And that usually is the case with these lesser teams. No disrespect to Bournemouth, it is usually their main men that step up. Semenyo could go one way or another. He could go, I'm absolutely bang up for this. I want to give my fans a nice send-off. Or my head's already at City. Hopefully it's the latter. But no, this is definitely a potential banana skin for us. This is not an easy game. There's no easy games.
There's no easy games, and you've punched that point home. And I think you're right there. Obviously, we spoke about Anton Semenyo a little bit there. The top players will step up. I was hoping. This whole City thing, he's going to be there with Pep smiling, holding the shirt. We're in January, come on. Then obviously, Iriola said in the press conference, he will be there against Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan, but he's a player that was probably going to step up and cause us problems. Do you worry about that? Are you annoyed that he's going to be part of that team? Or are you thinking, brother, forget whoever they got. We are Arsenal.
Well, yeah, we have to think like that, but there's no denying that he's their best player at the moment, and he is still their player. And he'll be bang up for it, not just because he's a top professional, but because he's going to be playing for Man City. And if he can do any damage to us, to then go to play for them, he's going to try and do that. And look, Iriola's a top manager, but he's been struggling of late. And I think it's unfair to say that it's on the manager, because they've had their whole back line completely depleted when you look at it from last season. They started really well. They're starting to dip. That means we have to go and beat them. They did well against us last year. They're the last team to beat us at the Emirates as well, which was towards the end of last year. And if I'm honest with you, they're always a banana skin, because it's a team that is in the Premier League that can, on their day, look very, very good. But the way that we've just come off the back of beating Aston Villa, we have to be confident with that and go into this believe we can beat them, because they ain't playing well. Their confidence is low. I didn't know they hadn't won in 10, which is not great. That's not good. So you can't be losing or dropping points to a team that have got that sort of record at the moment.
Well, that is it. It's just always a thing of like, if you are worthy champions, you shouldn't be dropping points to this team. But it's the Premier League. Wolves, we almost dropped points to them, and luckily we obviously came out with the win, but other teams have struggled. Now, of course, I've done my research. We spoke about Bournemouth in quite a bit of depth, but big up Marty's also in the studio right now. He's spoken to Craig from Up the Cherries in all departments. Hope that's still the same. He's still got that name, hopefully. Big up Craig. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a big fan of Bournemouth home and away. So let's hear from what he had to say around this game.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Cecil. So I'm here with Craig. Craig, how are we doing? You all right?
Yeah, all good. Not bad at all. Good.
Brilliant, fantastic. Looking forward to a big game on Saturday evening again. So what's your form been like running into this?
Well, it's been very indifferent, to be perfectly honest. After being beating Nottingham Forest at home, it's kind of been a little bit downhill. The Man City game, of course, getting beat by Man City at the Etihad, was expected. Going to Villa, getting beat 4-0, probably our worst performance of the season, although recently we have had another stinker. And we haven't really got going. I think this all coincides with the talk about Antoine Semenyo leaving the club. Marcos Senesi also wants to leave the Premier League. And of course, there's massive doubts over Andoni Iraola. Is he not going to sign a new contract? Most recent game was the draw against Chelsea. It was an improvement. But before that, the 4-1 defeat against Brentford was absolutely shambolic. First half, absolutely terrible. Second half, an improvement, but it was not going to be hard to actually make it get better than that, really.
So, Craig, run me through the system that you play and obviously your team layout.
Okay, so we play, 4 at the back. We've got one up front, of course, Evan Nielsen. We've got the wingers, and then 3 in the centre as well. with regards to our style of play, we play the high press. We did that last season, of course, in both of the games, which, of course, we come out triumphant. I believe we was the only team to do the double over Arsenal last season.
You were, mate, unfortunately.
So we still play that style, but teams have found us out a little bit more, and I think that's where a bit of the problem is.
So run us through your starting 11 that you expect to see.
Well, of course, a lot does rely on Antoine Semenyo, where his head's at. I'm going to say that he's going to be absolutely fine. There's lots of talk about him going to Manchester City, Manchester United. There's all sorts of talk. Jordi Petrovic will be in goal. He's not been that great recently, a little bit flappable. At the corners, he's been beaten at the near post, so not particularly been strong from him. Adrian Trefe, without a shadow of a doubt, in the past couple of weeks, has been our best player. He's on left back. In the centre, it will likely be it will probably be Marcos Senesi. And I was going to say Diakite there, but I don't think so. In all honesty, I think we might go with James Hill in the centre. And then on the right-hand side, we might go with Lewis Cook. In those midfield positions, we're likely to go with Alex Scott. I would imagine Justin Kluivert would be in there as well. Who's the third position going to go to? Probably Marcus Tavernier, in all honesty. On the wings, let's say Semenyo is absolutely fine. Semenyo would be either on the left or the right, with Brooks on the other side. They are interchangeable. It is likely that we might mix that up a little bit. And up front, although I don't really want him to, I would say Evan Nilsson. However, I personally think that Krupi is probably the right decision for this game. He is outstanding. He's a young striker. He's been linked to the likes of Thierry Henry. He's been mentioned in the same category as him, which is a real honour. So I would go with him, in all honesty. But Andoni seems to like Evan Nilsson. He seems to be the undroppable, a little bit like Tavernier. So, yeah, I think it'll probably be Evan Nilsson. We'll see.
So you talk about Semenyo. You reckon he'll be playing? Do you reckon this is farewell for him? Obviously, there's talks, links for him at Man City. Do you think this is be his farewell home game? Do you think he'll play?
I'd like to think he'll play. He seems to be a professional. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. When I've met him in person, he seems, a very down-to-earth lad. Does he want to get any injuries before a big move? Probably not. But at the same time, he is a Bournemouth player. I think he'll acknowledge that. There's some of these players that, no surprise to any Bournemouth fans watching this. Ryan Fraser was one that kind of threw his toys out the pram and refused to play. I personally do think that, he will play right to the very end. If it is the last game, I'm sure we'll see something at the end, but hopefully good performance.
So which Arsenal players concern you?
Which ones don't, to be honest, Marty? To be honest, this season, and I've got to say this, it's either now or never for Mikel Arteta. Not now or never for Arsenal, but now or never for Mikel Arteta. I personally think if he doesn't win the title this year, he will be gone. I really like Victor Gyökeres. I liked him when he was at Coventry. I thought he was a fantastic striker there. Of course, he's gone to Sporting, and then he's come back to the Premier League. I think he's a solid player. Bukayo Saka, one of my favourite players, one of my favourite English players. In all honesty, he's always going to be a menace. He's going to be really difficult.
Yep.
Declan Rice, you name it, you've got a quality squad.
We have indeed. So, Craig, before we hand back to Cecil in the studio, give us a quick score prediction.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay. With our current form, I'm going to say with the heart and the head. With the heart, I'd like to think that we could get a result. We got the double over year last season, so let's go for a 2-1.
Fantastic. However, in your favour, yeah?
In our favour. However, head, I can't see past an Arsenal win, in all honesty.
I'd say 3-1. Listen, Craig, you've been an absolute superstar. Thank you very much for all that information. It's been awesome. And I'm handing back to Cecil in the studio.
Big up Marty, big up Craig there. Obviously giving us some insight for the game this Saturday. Boys, it's time for score predictions. We've done a lot of talking. We've spoke around everything around this dynamic of this game. I'm going to start. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. But the reason why, if you're a better man, because they've drawn so many games, Bournemouth, I think it's going to be 1-1 for a lot of this game. Just something, I'm just trying to vision it. And then who gets that goal for Arsenal? I want to go with Jesus as well, you know. I'm going to go with Jesus. Big up, Victor might start this game. I haven't really figured who I want to start. That's a lie.
Who do you want to start?
Yeah, Jesus.
There we go.
But I just think he'll probably start Victor.
I think he'll start Victor as well.
I think he'll start Victor. But but I think Jesus will get that when he'll come back on and do what he did against Villa as well. Maybe in a few more touches. But I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Let me go to Pincus. Come in and Matt.
I'm going 3-0. I think it's going to be a convincing performance. I think that we will have gotten a lot of momentum from that Villa game, and a bit similar to like we did in 2024 at the beginning. I think we can go on a nice run now where we start blowing teams away. We batter Bournemouth this game. Liverpool will be shitting themselves coming to our gaff. When you start converting these chances, we're already the team to beat. We're going to be the team to hopefully not get embarrassed by, and that's what we're capable of doing. We've got that armoury. We've got that arsenal of so many weapons, and they need to start firing. They've been brilliant so far, but let's start dismantling teams like we did against Villa. I think 3-0, and I think Gyökeres gets on the score sheet.
Nice.
Madueke gets on it, because I think Madueke will start. And a penalty from the skipper, Odegaard.
Okay, quickly before I swing over to Dan, do we need any more signings? It's January, is the window's open?
I can't give you a fair enough answer to that because I haven't really thought deeply. I think we could do with maybe another CDM.
Okay. Potts, I want to ask you the same question after you give your score prediction.
My score prediction is 2-0 Arsenal.
People are confident.
The reason I'm confident that we'll keep a clean sheet is because we've got our best defender back, and he is our best defender. Gabriel is an unbelievable player, like ridiculously good. And I'm a huge Saliba fan, by the way. Yeah. I think he's world class too. But I think Gabriel might be the best defender in the world right now. I really do. And he is massively key, and we saw that against Villa. So I think with him back, I've got more confidence that we can keep a clean sheet. So I'll go 2-0. As for January, quickly, somebody like Bouadi would be a sensible signing, in my opinion, because you're not going to go and try and replicate a Declan Rice. You're not going to find one. Yeah. Unless you go for a Vitinha or a Pedri, and I doubt we'll get one of those. So for me, I think sensible business, 18, 19 years old, looks very good off the ball. And I think has the legs that perhaps Marino doesn't. That would be a good, sensible piece of business. I'd be very shocked if we did anything more than that, if I'm honest.
We've got money, though.
We have got money.
We have got money.
We have. It's more about the...
And Andrew Berta has been... You saw in summer...
He's keen, man. He's keen.
If he keeps up with that energy... He might just... Well, listen, we don't want to players.
I'll be surprised if we brought Attacker in, but Andrea Berto wouldn't shock me, I suppose, is what I'm saying. But I probably would personally be a little bit surprised if it was somebody like we went and walked in a Yildiz or a Rodrigo. But maybe we do. I hope we do.
Imagine that. January will be popping. The fan base will be...
I'd like to see us react because obviously Semenyo's coming in. I'd like to see us do something so that we can say we didn't sit still and just gone, we're too good, we don't need anyone, cheers. Yeah. I'd like to see a reaction, but we'll see, man.
Of the past, Arsenal don't traditionally do much in January, but you're right, this could be a change season. City have acted, can we react to it? And you're right, I haven't really put my mind fully into the January window yet. I will have to, because that's what we do, transfer dailies back, all of that. I've got to start getting around it, but it'd be interesting to see what Arsenal do in this window. Before I do close, we've given our score predictions. Just want to big up you guys. Go follow Papa Pincus. That's his name on social media. He does amazing content. Huge. I'm glad we got him here. And of course, football's 12th man. Dan, hey, your channel, over 50,000 subscribers as well. Go and subscribe to Dan, please. He does quality content as well. So make sure you go subscribe to him and follow him. And big up everyone that's watched this preview. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video. Come on, you Gunners. Let's kick this. Let's win this league this season. Love ya. Bye.